Mic check. How's that volume?
taking their seats and the firefighters making room in the back for those to take a seat. We will start our ceremony with the posting of the colors by Combined Honor Guard of Salt Lake City, South Davis Metro, and Sandy Fire.
Honor Guard, Octave, troop, prepare to carry colors. Carry colors. Ready, face. Prepare to post colors. Post colors. Recover. Just. Present arms. Will the audience please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Order, arms. Forward. Ready, face. Forward, march.
Feel free to be seated. All right. Welcome. Welcome to Recruit Class 53's graduation. It's been a long 17/15 weeks, right?
Yes, sir.
Still looks like a little bit of apprehension, nervousness, but I think it's a good nervousness. I would like to welcome them to their graduation. They put in a lot of work over these last 15 weeks, a lot of work and a lot of study. I also want to welcome their families and their friends and those that are here to support them. I'd like to welcome the firefighters in the back. I would also like to recognize our chiefs and our dignitaries. I would like to welcome Sarah Young from our Salt Lake City Council, Dan Dugan, Salt Lake City Council, and our chiefs, Chief Lieb, Chief Stone, and Chief McConaughey. And I would also like to welcome Chief Robinson from UFA, Assistant Chief Robinson. By way of kind of some logistical things, we have restrooms there in the back, just down this hallway. If by some reason there's a line there, you can always go over to our other building right over here. There's several restrooms in there, and we'll direct you there. Please silence your cell phones at this point. Just take a couple seconds and silence your cell phones. And also by way of introduction, I will introduce myself. My name is Dave Chugg. I am the battalion chief, the division chief over the training division. And without further ado, we will get started. We have Council Member Dugan, who has, there's one more I got to recognize. Mayor Mendenhall. She wanted to be here, but due to a scheduling issue, she was unable to be here. And so Councilmember Dan Dugan has stepped up, and he's speaking on their behalf. And so we will have him speak, and then we will go through and have the chiefs their opportunity to address us and their recruits, and starting with Chief Stone, then Chief McGonigal, and then Chief Lieb, and we'll go to that point. Thank you.
What a great day. Pretty exciting. Thank you for everybody for joining us here at the Academy. Thanks to the Chiefs and the training department for their hard work. But first, Class 53, congratulations. You made the cut. And that's an accomplishment. Yes, I'm Councilmember Dan Dugan from District 6 of Salt Lake City, and it's my honor to be here to recognize your achievement. It's a remarkable achievement, and you should be proud of yourself. Over the last 15 weeks, you've stretched your physical and mental fitness. You've taken it to the limits. You expanded your leadership and teamwork skills, so needed for this position. And you immersed yourself in firefighting concepts, EMT, and tactics. You showed grit and determination. No easy task. You made the first cut, this is the second cut. Nice work. And I applaud your commitment to service and for the courage and compassion necessary to help those in your community and at a time put your life on the line. This work is much more than showing up. It's demanding and it's rewarding. I also need to recognize the family and loved ones. Your strength and sacrifice goes unnoticed. And I will say this much, you guys, you men and women, sorry, all of you here at the class, you can't do your work without them. You need them as much as they need you. I also must thank the fire department and the chiefs for their demanding training. There's a little part of, when you train your own forces, there's a little selfishness in there. Because they're going to depend on you to make sure they get home safely also. So there's a little selfishness in there. And that's why they want to be demanding. That's why they want to be tough. That's why they push you to the limits. Because their life and our communities are on the line. But it doesn't stop here. This is the first step. You just made this cut. The training and the honing of your skills must continue onward. Listen and learn from the experienced firefighters. Continue to focus on your physical and your mental strength. Continue to work together as a team, because you always will be depending on each other, and you always have to have that confidence in your fellow firefighter when you're going out on a call. Short words, this is a great day for you. Congratulations on a job well done. Take the day off, relax, and see you at the station. Have a great day. Thank you very much.
I'm going to go with what Chief Chug said, that it's me, but on the thing it says Chief McGonigal. But I'll do it. I'll improvise. I can, I'm a firefighter, right? You just have to do what you have to do. So, was I wrong? So.
Somehow mine is different than yours. I don't know how I got a different program.
Chief, maybe it's time to go into operations. It's always a good time to be up here. I didn't get into the fire service to be a public speaker. So, Councilmember Dugan, thank you very much for your words. Appreciate the words and the support. It's always nice to have the council come and be here. So I'm Dane Stone. I'm the fire chief of South Davis Metro Fire. And we have the opportunity in the professional relationship with Salt Lake City Fire. And Chief Lieb, thank you for another successful class. I always love standing up here and looking at all the faces and everybody's smiling. Yeah, you can smile. It's okay too, yeah. So thank you again, Chief, for the opportunity to be part of this organization. I want to acknowledge the cadre, Chief Chug and your cadre. I appreciate that. Your unwavering commitment and the time and effort you invest in transforming these ordinary men and women into extraordinary firefighters is commendable, and I appreciate each and every one of you for what you do, so thank you. To the families, I extend my heartfelt gratitude. Your support is invaluable. This profession is challenging, and it's a journey your loved ones have chosen to undertake over the past few months, and it's not been easy. Your love and encouragement has been noted. Thank you. Now to Class 53. You've made it. You've completed what I believe is to be the best fire academy in the state of Utah. You've earned the right to wear a shirt that says your department name, and if you feel so, you can go out and buy one that says, "I fight what you fear." I don't think anybody would suggest you do that, but if you want to, go ahead. You have become what many would call a hero. But what is a hero? A hero gives of themselves, often putting their own life at risk for the greater good of others. They possess noble qualities such as courage, selflessness, and a desire to help people using traits to achieve goals. Do you possess these traits? Absolutely. Why else would you choose to do this profession? 30 years ago, when I sat where you were today, my training captain told me 3 things. Granted, this was 30 years ago. If you expect to get rich, you're in the wrong profession. If you think it's anything like the movies, you're definitely in the wrong profession. And lastly, if you think that every rescue you make is going to be a 110-pound beautiful model, you have got another thing coming. And so far, he's been correct. So if those were your expectations, I hate to inform you that you probably made a grave mistake. You've just spent 15 weeks doing nothing. But if you're here to give yourself for the greater good and exhibit courage, selflessness, and a deep desire to help others, then you are what many would call a hero. I call you firefighters. Most of the seasoned firefighters that you see here today would humbly tell you that they aren't heroes. They are simply people who love their job and want to help others. To be called a hero can often be more embarrassing than a complimentary. Always remember why you were here. Recognize how fortunate you are to be part of this elite profession. Many have tried, but only a few succeed. Remember those who have come before you. Their legacy grants you the recognition that you get praise on day one. Strive to be the best firefighter you can be, because the citizens who call 911 don't get to choose who responds to their emergency. They get you. So continue your training and the master of this craft. So when you respond, you can truly be their hero. Congratulations, Class 53. I wish each of you a safe and successful career. Welcome to the greatest profession. Welcome to the fire service.
Good morning, Class 53. Good morning, sir. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. I wanted to also thank and echo the sentiments of Chief Stone. My appreciation to Chief Lieb, to Salt Lake City, but understanding also the collaboration that exists between Salt Lake City, South Davis Metro, and Sandy. I'd like to thank his staff and all of those that have represented all of you during this camp, and also especially to the cadre. I know that that this is something that is special and robust, where you know, independently it may be smaller. With everybody working together, it becomes, you know, a very monumental academy. I'm always impressed when we come out here and we're able to do the orientation or the graduation ceremonies, and I think that you guys are gaining from that. I just want you to know that. My sentiment as well is that I feel that this is the best academy in the state, and you should know that and be happy and proud that you're a part of it. So just wanted to share those thoughts to start. I just wanted to share a couple thoughts. I just reflect every time we get into situations like this. I tend to think back to when I was hired, maybe not 30 years ago, but a few years back. And I remember that excitement of leaving my job offer interview and, you know, trying to appear cool as I'm walking back to my car, and then get inside and just giving it a total fist pump, and just like, I can't believe this is happening. I'm just so excited to be able to do my career and call myself a firefighter. And I hope you feel that. I hope you still feel that. Today is one of those days where you should feel that. So congratulations to each of you. Just a couple things that I've learned over the years that I would think important to maybe pass on to you, that I try to keep in the back of my mind from day to day. The first of that is purpose. The purpose of why you decided to become a firefighter. I would encourage you to remember the why. Why did you decide you wanted to do this? I think back on that. I think of the reasons, and you may even have a little bit more insight as you take your oath today, and think about those words and what you're committing to and what you're swearing to. But there's always that why and the purpose of, you want to serve, you want to help, you want to do whatever it is that brought you into this. Remember that, because there's going to be hard times during your career, and it's always a good thing to fall back on. So remember your purpose. The second thing that I wanted to share that I've thought over the years, and more I realize how important this is attitude. How important it is to have a good attitude. Attitudes can come in all different sizes and shapes. So my advice to you is pick a good one. I suspect that the reason that you're here and you've been successful is that you do have good attitudes. And that's so valuable to the fire service. It's so valuable in serving and in public service. So one of the little things that I've said in the past, and I usually share when we're doing our interviews with people and our hiring process, is personality is a plus, but attitude is essential. And I think that rings, the longer I stay in this service, the more I realize that it's great to be with guys and gals that have personalities and different, you know, trades and different things. But the real thing that keeps us going, the real thing that keeps, you know, the crews working, the departments working, is just having a great positive attitude. And I think that's largely why you guys have been successful in making it through. So anyways, those are just a couple tidbits that I've picked up over the years, and I encourage you to maybe think about those things and as you work through your careers. So congratulations to you, Class 53, and good luck.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Carl Lieb. I'm the Salt Lake City Fire Department Chief. Good morning, Class 53. Good morning, sir. That's better. A lot of thank yous. We've already been through them several times. Thank you, council members, for being here this morning. Chiefs, we take it seriously, the training of your people. We appreciate you having the confidence in us to do that. Cadre, always do an outstanding job. Chief Chug, I believe this will be your last graduating class. Done a great job. Thanks. Family members, friends, loved ones, can't say enough about your support for these people sitting in the front row before me. Couldn't do it without you. we have a pretty good idea, all of us in uniform, about what you go through at home when they're studying, when they're detached, when they're thinking about tomorrow's evolutions or tomorrow's test. The verbiage, you hear at home at the dinner table, you have no idea what they're talking about. It's a whole different world. So thank you for being there for them. Along the way, as they leave this logistics center, they're going to need that support again. It's a tough job. Okay, Class 53. It's fitting that we're right back here in the logistics center, isn't it? 4 months ago, we had orientation right here. You each had an opportunity to bring your spouse or a friend or a loved one to that orientation, and you sat here and you learned about what recruit school was going to be like. But you really had no idea what it was really going to be like. In fact, you're probably sat there and you're giving it second thought, third thought. Do I really want to do this? I mean, this is going to be tough. Because we don't hold punches at orientation. We tell them what it's going to be like. We tell them when they're going to show up, when they're going to leave, what the day is going to look like. So it's a credit to you that you decided, I'm going to keep doing this. I'm in it. I'm in it for the long haul. And if you remember right, I told you then, that night, that I had 2 expectations for you, right? That you give your department, your respective departments, everything that you have. And number 2, that you realize what you have. Now, number 1, you started. Out those doors, that classroom, that tower, you've demonstrated, you've given it everything you've had. 7 o'clock lineups, classroom tests every Monday, multiple evolutions, drills, physical tests, physical training, up and overs, on air, off air, right? Everything, all these new disciplines, from ventilation to extrication, from fire behavior to fire attack, primary lines, secondary lines, knockdown. To some of you, this was all new, but you did it. You did it, and you're sitting here right now, and you're almost professional firefighters. And you walk out of here this afternoon, you will be. Speaking of that team, there's a few nuances with Class 53 that really are present in a lot of our other recruit classes. For one, you came together really quickly. For most recruit schools, it takes a while before you start, molding into a cohesive team. But you hit the ground running. On the drill ground, in the classroom, you picked each other up, did what you had to do to get to the next day. You had there were some obstacles, there was some stumbling. I have the opportunity to come out here and see the recruit class any given week that I want to. If they're doing something interesting, I'll come out here and I'll speak with them. You remember me coming out here and talking to you. Sometimes you were having a good day, and the talk was kind of friendly. It's like, way to go, guys, hang in there. And then sometimes you weren't doing so hot. And I'm imploring you to stick together, push through it. The numbers of the class are changing. All of a sudden, it's not as big as it used to be, right? That's frightening. But that's the reality of recruit school. Second, it didn't seem to matter where you'd come from. Amongst you, there were EMTs, paramedics, and a few previous firefighters, but also executives, coordinators, personal trainers, sales associates, ski patrollers, concrete finishers, and of course, there's always the one recruit who speaks all variations of Yugoslavian, which is invaluable on the drill ground, as you all know. But these different life experiences, that only seemed to make you more galvanized, more focused on your ultimate goal, graduation. Lastly, regarding Class 53, there seems to be a strong legacy component. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with what legacy means in the fire service, it means the firefighter, in this case the recruit, has some family lineage connection with either a current firefighter or a retired firefighter. This class has several legacy recruits, 4 whose fathers or uncles currently serve, and 1 whose uncle has retired. We even have a previously retired firefighter that I worked with for many years, who after 13 years decided there's no other job that was, quote, as fulfilling as the fire service, and decided to return with a new goal of becoming a paramedic and serving that same badge he once wore. I'm always profoundly heartened by the impact this job has on the people that surround it. It's really quite different than any other industry. And what does that tell you about the job, Class 53, and about yourselves? It should tell you that although you're going to face challenges, you're going to have bad days at the station, you're going to see and do things that no one really should see. Never forget the opportunity you have to serve and what this job means to the public and that trust that they have in you, and never let them down. Which brings me back to my second expectation. Realize what you have. There will be a point in your career where you feel like you've peaked. You can't get any better. There'll be a point in your career where you feel like you're invulnerable. Nothing will get you. You won't get hurt. There'll be a point in your career where you feel like the calls you're going on don't matter anymore. Nobody notices. You're not making a difference. You'd be wrong on all those counts. Don't ever let the doubt outweigh your commitment to this job. Don't forget why you came here. As professionals, it's your obligation to deliver service consistently and whenever it's asked for. Continue to develop both personally and professionally. Prioritize the safety and health of yourself as well as your fellow firefighters, and remain grounded, humble, and motivated. That's your role as professionals. I think you're ready to accept it. Congratulations.
Thank you, Chiefs, Councilmember. Great words of advice. I want to reiterate just a couple of those. Step into this role as a firefighter. Step into it with confidence. You've had great training. You are prepared. I know there's probably a sense of apprehension, but you're prepared and you're ready. That's what this academy is about. Day one, you're ready to go out there and do this job. So step into it with confidence. You have this. But remain humble. Remain humble and continue to work. I like those words that Chief Lieb stated. Realize what you have. As long as you realize how awesome this is, you'll stay humble. You'll have that right attitude. And you'll approach every day with everything that you have. So do that. Remember your why. We started that out at orientation. It's good to have that. Remember your why. Keep that somewhere close. Put it in your, stock it away in your helmet. Put it in your locker. Have it somewhere visible so that you remember. Stay with that. It's now my privilege to introduce my training staff. And I want to start out with Gina Bell. She's not here today. But she puts in all the work behind the scenes, all the clerical work, all that time, all the graded sheets, all the scoring, everything. She does such a great job for us, and she's been here for a really long time, and we appreciate all the work that she does. I'd also like to recognize Captain Crandall. He's our special operations captain. He does step in and do some training every now and again, and he's a phenomenal trainer with a wealth of expertise and knowledge, and we've all benefited from his experience and his knowledge. I'd like to appreciate him. Also, training coordinator, Captain Justin Morrow, who was promoted yesterday. He's been our training coordinator for this academy. And I love the energy and the passion that he brings to this job and to his role. And I look forward to seeing what he does as our training captain, as he assumes that responsibility. I would also like to recognize Captain Randy Eastwood. He has been out here. He's been out here longer than I have for the last 5 classes, and he has done a phenomenal job. He's that guy that just gets the stuff done and makes you laugh when you least expect it. And he has it's amazing, very piercing questions. You know, I love it when he goes, Chief Chug, I got a question. And I'm like, all right, here we go. Like, this is going to be good. But I appreciate everything that he has brought to this academy in the last 2.5 years, and he has done a great job. And I know he's going to do a great job as he assumes his role in operations on C Platoon. I'm just kind of disappointed that he's not going to A Platoon. But it is what it is. And last but not least, our lead instructor, Captain Billy Oliver. He has a great history working on a truck. And he was just barely promoted as he assumed this role as our lead instructor. And he brought that wealth of knowledge and his passion for truck operations, and also has this wealth of knowledge in engine operations, and has used all of that in his assisting you and building you up to where you are today. And he has done a great job, and I appreciate that. And at this point, I'm going to turn it over to him to allow him to introduce his cadre.
Thanks, Chief. First of all, it's great to see all of you out there and all of you in the back. This is awesome. Class 53, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. You never knew how great this cadre was, because it's the only one you'll ever have. But I can tell you firsthand, the next 5 members made one of the finest cadres a recruit class could have. We had highly experienced, hardworking, educated, talented firefighters and captains that brought their knowledge and know-how to you. From task level to tactic level, you were shown a top-tier professional firefighting world. And it should be mentioned that each of these cadre members requested to be a part of this class. They took time out of their personal lives to see to the future of this firefighting profession as a whole, and more specifically, for each of their fire departments in this academy. So first up, Captain Hale. Just stand for a moment, please. Captain Hale brought a wealth of experience to this position. From being a paramedic to engineer to captain, Captain Hale brought perspective and articulate instruction that could paint a perfect picture for recruits. Captain Hale is widely knowledgeable and was an integral part of this academy from day one. From running the McNeil prop to after-action reviews, and this being Hale's 4th class, Captain Hale is irreplaceable. Thank you, Captain Hale. Captain Rigby. There are 2 words commonly used at this training division: assets and liabilities. Captain Rigby was an instant asset and brought his training camp experience and pride in his work to these recruits. Captain Rigby brought a thorough knowledge of all aspects of this job and a professionalism that garnered respect. We hope to get you back again, Captain Rigby. Instructor Long. One word can be used to describe Instructor Long, and that is value. Instructor Long lives and breathes to be a great firefighter and to teach at this academy. Throughout this class, he pushed and instructed the recruits through his actions, and even more so through adding value to why we do everything. As you all know, one of the best ways to instruct is to give the why to what we're doing. But Instructor Long goes one step further and adds the value to the why by giving distinct history and stories that will forever be ingrained in these recruits in this class. Thank you, Instructor Long. I've worked with Instructor Dirkmott for over 6 years. Dirk delivers an intensity and knowledge to recruit school that sets a high standard for the recruits and those around him. Dirk also brings a collegiate football background that adds a level of physicality to recruit school and firefighting. And if you can't tell, he's quite small too. We were unfortunately only able to hold on to Dirk until week 6 of our 15-week academy, but his impact in those 5 weeks shaped these recruits also for the rest of their careers. So thank you, Dirk. Instructor Ashman. I had the honor of getting to work with Instructor Ashman the longest in this recruit class. Instructor Ashman brought a diverse set of skills and abilities, from fire attack to search, to working the fire engine, to wildland, to you name it. Instructor Ashman was teaching it. Instructor Ashman was a foundation for the success of this class, not to mention all the workouts that were delivered. It was an honor to work with you, Instructor Ashman. Thank you. All in all, this cadre had over 12 recruit classes and 50 years of experience between the 5 of them. 53 cadre, thank you for your time, dedication, and your hard work. So with that, we're going to move into doing our recruit introductions. We'll have the cadre of 53 introduce these recruits, and we're going to start with Captain Eastwood.
Good morning, Class 53. Good morning, sir. There we go. All right, before we do the introductions, I just want to echo what has been said. Captain Oliver, I've had a ton of respect for him as long as I've known him and his abilities as a firefighter and his professionalism. And he put on a tremendous class, as you well know. And echoing what he said, you've been trained by the best. And they gave you everything they had. Okay, so go make them proud. Understood? Yes, sir. Right on. Let's do some introductions. Let's start with Recruit Robinson. Recruit Robinson came into this class extremely prepared. Had a little bit of background, but he came in very prepared with the right attitude. We tested them week 1 while they were doing some dressing drills on the history of Salt Lake City Fire and what Salt Lake City Fire has available in the different stations. And he started answering every question. And he answered it correctly. And we're like, oh yeah, you think you know stuff? We're going to throw more at you. So we just kept drilling him, and he answered everything. I mean, we even looked at each other like, is he right? Yeah, okay. So he came in, and that speaks to his personality and his desire to be a part of the fire service and Salt Lake City Fire Department. He is only one of a couple paramedics, so he's already gone through that. So he's instantly going to add value to our department with his skills. He approached this class with a tremendously good attitude. He went about it quietly, but with a ton of dedication, and he gave it everything he had every day. And he led by example, and I think everybody in this class respects him. He's also going to carry on a great tradition in his family, and his family's very proud right now. His father is also a firefighter. He's an assistant chief for Unified Fire Authority. So this is a great day for the Robinson family. And Recruit Robinson is a tremendous asset to Salt Lake City Fire, and we look forward to watching him grow in his career. Recruit Robinson. Recruit Bailey. All right, he's the tallest one, I think you can tell. Recruit Bailey, he came into this, and I think he was a little shell-shocked. I think that's a fair assessment, the first couple weeks of what was happening, because they get hit hard. But he faced some challenges early on. First and foremost, he left his wife and 2 young children in California to attend this academy, and that alone is challenging for anybody. But he worked through that. He also had some struggles early on with academics and failed the first couple tests and that is your back against the wall, because you only get to fail 3 of the 9. And so he started with his back against the wall. We had some conversations. He rededicated himself. He figured out the testing and how to be successful, and his grades were great after that. And then he continued to improve every day on the drill ground. By the time we got to the single person evolutions, he had a great day and put it all together. And it's all clicking now, and we're very proud of him and the dedication to overcome those obstacles he had initially. And kudos to the Bailey family for allowing him to do this and supporting him. I know that must have been a challenge for his family. We're looking forward to Recruit Bailey's growth in this department and looking forward to watching him blossom in this career. Recruit Bailey. Recruit Harris. This recruit and this story is an awesome story. We consider this a huge success story. Recruit Harris joined us in class 51 a year ago right now in this spring class. She had some struggles academically and was unable to continue in the class. We had a very good conversation with her before she left, and her parting words to us were, "I'll be back." And we could tell that that was going to be true. She had all the tools and the physical fitness and everything. She just needed to figure out the academics. So with the support of her incredible family and her friends in the fire service and just her own grit, desire to be a firefighter, she put a plan together. She enrolled in the fire academy down at UVU. And we have some instructors down there that we know personally, and we were getting feedback. And they were saying she was doing excellent. She went through the hiring process again, and she was rehired to come into this class. That is a huge success. Then when she got here, I think for back of the letter term, she crushed this class. She owned it. There was many times we were watching her perform, and Captain Oliver and I would look at each other, that was smooth, that was good. And that's the best compliment you can get. And she went about this with a tremendous attitude and was not going to let this class win. She was going to win. And I'm extremely proud of her, and she has a ton of support from her family and friends, and she's been a total example, and I think she's helped a lot of you in this class by her example and her work ethic and her desire and her heart. So this is a happy day. And it's also a very special day for her family because she is also carrying on a tradition. Her father is a paramedic, heavy rescue technician for Salt Lake City Fire Department. So this is a great day for the Harris family. So I'd like to introduce you to Recruit Harris.
Nice job, Emma!
Recruit Ahern. Recruit Ahern is one of the hardest working recruits in this class. He was always seen as the last one cleaning up after drills. There was an experience during the academy that I'd like to share. We did a surprise ladder drill one morning after workout, and Recruit Ahern got really frustrated during this drill because it didn't go as pleased. There may have been a few expletive words that came out of him. We could see his frustration, but over the following few days and weeks, he took that frustration and that challenge that he had with ladders, and he worked on those skills, and he came back and crushed it again with the ladders and was very competent in those skills. This just shows one of the examples of the many ways that he's taken upon himself to become a great firefighter, and I would like to welcome Recruit Ahern to the fire service and to the Sandy City Fire Department. Recruit Fields. Recruit Fields came into the academy with a background in the Navy and also with the background of a family of firefighters. His discipline and work ethic here in the academy showed us the values that he's developed through the examples in his life and through the experiences that he's had in his life. Recruit Fields was one that we never had to worry about, never had to watch on the drill ground because we knew that he was performing well. There were many times during the drills when he was in the engineer position, meaning he was driving and operating the fire pump during the drill. And whenever we would look over and see him there, we knew that we didn't have to worry about him and that the drill was going to go well. This just shows again the professionalism, the desire to be the best and to be excellent at his job. Look forward to having him on the job and want to welcome him to the fire service and to the Sandy City Fire Department.
I'm going to give a little background real quick before I introduce my guys. Class 53 was challenged by instructor long that they were supposed to read the true values of a firefighter or a fireman from Lieutenant McCormick from FDNY. What I'm going to do on my introductions is I want to include in mine each one of actually what you guys said in your paper, because they were supposed to write a paper and submit it to us on the legacy they would like to leave. And so in introducing you guys, I want to be able to read to you, back to you, and to your families the legacy you want to leave in the fire service, okay? I'd also encourage every one of you guys, my guys, because it's not just South Davis guys are my guys. I consider every one of you guys my brothers, my guys. I would hang up that paper that you wrote in your locker, read it every day, so you can pay attention to the legacy that you have and the legacy that you're going to leave, so you can give 100% every day, okay? Can I get a yes, sir, on that, or am I talking to myself here? Yes, sir! All right, okay. Recruit Fairholm. Recruit Fairholm's takeaway from Lieutenant McCormick's speech. He wrote, he wanted to come here to Salt Lake City's Fire Academy because he wanted the best training that he could get. He wanted to become the very best because those that we serve deserve nothing less. Though it is true, those we serve deserve nothing less, you get 100% out of what you put in to the academy here, Recruit Fairholm. And exactly that, you get what you put into it. And from what I saw, it was nothing less than 100% of your effort. You truly snuffed out the weakness inside of yourself and you're right on track to become an incredibly amazing firefighter. I witnessed no less than 6 or 7 times of you snuffing, well, maybe snuffing's not the right word, projectile snuffing, projectile purging this weakness from you. And I'm here to tell you that weakness is out and it's gone. Okay? There's no question in my mind or any of the cadre's mind that you would give 100% to your workout, 100% to the evolutions that we did on the drill ground, 100% of all that you had. You bring a lot to the table, and you're going to be an amazing addition to South Davis Fire. Just keep giving that 100%. No more purging. You're good to go. Welcome to the fire service. Bruder, come on up. Recruit Bruder. Recruit Bruder took away from the speech. He says it takes an entire team of motivated firefighters that show up every day, willing to give 100%, so that collectively they can be great. Bruder wants to embody that courage, determination, and pride when he thinks about his legacy. He says he wants to inspire others by the way that he carries himself on and off the fire scene. Since day one of camp, Christian, Recruit Bruder, you've done this. You have embodied that. You've carried yourself well. I was immediately impressed with you by the speed that you pulled a cross-lay off from day one. And I knew instantly that things were going to go a lot smoother for you and a lot smoother for me, and I wasn't going to have to call you in and come down on you too much with explicit words. That just didn't end with day one with you. You continued to carry that speed, the determination, push and drive every day. You continued to impress me every day with that. You went full speed on every skill, every evolution throughout camp, giving 100% determination and pride to all of your efforts. You added your name on the Up and Over Challenge board. Huge accomplishment right there. You also were able to beat out several of the other recruits in a burpees challenge. You were the last man standing. That 100% determination and drive is, I expect nothing less of you. And I know that that's what you will give me every day. From where I'm sitting, you're on your way to leaving the legacy that you desire. Don't lose that drive and continue to inspire your firefighters that you work with and the ones that come up behind you. I think you'll do a great job. Welcome to the fire service. Recruit Jib. Sweating. Recruit Jib wrote, "No one should seek out their own good, but the good of others." Jib chooses to put the good of others ahead of himself. I believe that 100%, and I've witnessed it 100% of the time with you. Jib says, "I want to leave my legacy to one of a humble learning, willing service, and consoling sacrifice." Without question, Jib, you are paving the way to this very legacy. Without a doubt, Recruit Jib has heart and determination, and I know nobody would be able to argue differently. Day in and day out, Jib pushed himself farther than I and probably he himself even thought possible. And most of the time, he did it with a smile and sweat dripping down his face and everywhere else. He may not look it, but Jib was a ninja in camp. Every time I tried to grab a tool and sneak it back to the tower, sneak it back to the office, I would hear nothing, and then the last few seconds, huge feet pounding down on the pavement behind me. He would swoop in, grab the tool, grab the object, grab the speaker from me, and with a smile say, "Thank you, sir." There's no possible way that any instructor was going to get away with a tool carrying when he was around, or even stealing an engine. Chasing down the engine, jumping into the cab to stop the would-be thief from stealing a fire engine, that's Jib right there. I don't know what he was going to do when he got inside, but he was going to chase that engine down. Jib, you bring a lot of heart with you to the fire service and to South Davis. I'm excited to see where that heart takes you. Welcome to fire service. Recruit Berenson. Class 53's official union rep. The man you go to when you need something, whether it be something from Costco, something from the cadre, or just somebody to talk to. Recruit Berenson's it. He's there for everybody when they need it, whether they think they need it or not. He's always standing right next to you when you need him. Unless you're looking for a wallet. He may or may not be able to remember where his wallet was placed, but I'll tell you what, he can write one hell of a ode if you need to find that wallet or at least pay tribute to it, should you need it. I want to read Recruit Berenson's legacy that he wants to leave behind him. I want to be remembered as a good firefighter, one who was never above doing hard, dirty work, one who went the extra mile to be a good teammate and friend, to anyone who could come with question, concern, or even a private thought with knowledge, it will be kept in confidence. One who never got lazy or complacent, and who always strove to sharpen his skills and expand his knowledge. Most of all, one who has dedicated his life in service to his fellow man. Recruit Berenson, you're already on your way to leaving this legacy as well. I've seen you accomplish all of these things on the drill grounds in spades. I've even seen you do all of that in your best Yoda voice, which I enjoyed very much. Congrats on this amazing accomplishment of passing class and continuing forward. We're all proud of you. Pops would also be proud. You're an incredible addition to South Davis Fire. Welcome to the fire service.
Recruit Frary, come on up. So before we start with the Recruit Frary, I just wanted to talk about Salt Lake City Fire Academy and the values that we strive to follow here, just to let the families know kind of what this team has been working towards and what we encourage throughout camp. So these values are trust, community, respect, excellence, and leadership. And so my thoughts today, and with the recruits that will be represented here today, I looked at their performance, their attitude, and what they brought to camp, and I tried to associate one of those values with them. So first we'll cover just a few little highlights for them, and then I'd like to talk about how they embodied that value. So Recruit Frary, he embodied the value of community. And before we touch on that, let's talk about a few highlights for this young man. He quickly picked up the nickname Little House. His last name rhymed with prairie, so naturally Little House on the Frary fit this young man. And it stuck throughout camp. This nickname was used throughout camp as he was putting in work, learning the skills, and mastering the craft of being a professional firefighter. As we watched him transform from Little House to a Big House, and he's done a great job at that. So you're staring at Big House on the Frary right here. So Recruit Frary has overcome several obstacles in his pursuit of becoming the Big House. So week one, he encountered a sore back while loading hose, and a few instructors overheard him kind of looking for some condolences around him. Anybody else's back hurt as we load hose and as we master this skill? Welcome to the Sore Back Club, buddy. Plenty of days ahead of you. Well done putting that together. Next, mastering his push-ups was pure magic to watch. We do a lot of push-ups in camp. He left a lot of blood, sweat, and tears on the training ground through all of this and made a lot of progress with his fitness, so well done. On that fitness front, learning to box jump was also a magical sight to behold. We pushed these recruits through all different areas of fitness to be able to test them and make sure they're as dynamic as they can be when entering the force. As he was learning to box jump, his body decided that it wanted nothing to do with plyometric exercises and quit on him mid-jump. He came down on a cement block and ended up in the clinic getting some stitches in his knee. So welcome to the world of CrossFit and what those working shins look like, Frary. To Frary's credit, he sustained this injury during search and rescue week and came back that day with stitches in his knee and without missing a step, continued to drill and continue to work around that injury safely. So well done. It speaks a lot to the grit that he has and the dedication that he had to this camp. Now let's talk about Recruit Frary and how he's embodied the value of community. Recruit Frary has an eagerness to learn and to connect with people and how things work. We saw that all throughout camp. This attribute will benefit him in this position, in this profession. Recruit Frary believes in doing the right thing and is always looking out for the team. He showed his integrity to the academy process day in and day out, and he thrived as part of the Class 53 community. Recruit Frary has a great bedside manner and is a friend to everyone, which will serve him well as he responds to the citizens of Salt Lake City in any type of emergency. Please join me in congratulating and welcoming Recruit Frary to the fire service. Recruit Kit Middow. So to our core values in the academy, leadership stood out to me for Recruit Kit Middow. He was our class rhino, built majestically large, graceful as all get out, and explosively fast for 7-second bursts at a time. He wasn't our marathon recruit, but he started and finished the academy with zero quit in him. Recruit Kit Middow embodied our value of leadership in several ways. As a cadre, we felt bad for every building that he threw ladders into because he always approached full speed ahead and was determined to hit his mark. Ladders can be an area of struggle throughout the academy, but Kit Middow led from the front and excelled at this skill. If you can picture a rhino on a ladder, Kit Middow made it look picture-worthy. His early apprehension about heights and ascending ladders was overcome throughout camp, and he actually turned out to be one of our most graceful ladder climbers. He did this by showing off this skill during week 12 repetitions with a 35-foot ladder during some drill time, and he did a wonderful job. Great progress there. Next, during our 24-hour shift, our recruits come out for a full 24 hours of activities and things that they might see when they enter the fire service, from day-to-day activities to calls throughout the night, and we had a great time during our 24-hour shift. Recruit Kit Middow, during a medical call and response there, showed his safety prowess and assured that our cadre and his recruit mates were safe throughout that whole call. He made an impression on us, and we knew very quickly that any scene that he would be a part of, that he would take care of his crew, and that he would serve the community with his great ability to lead. He's a great leader. He's a force to be reckoned with, and he always looks out for the team. Last point here for Kit Middow, world's greatest stretch, has had to be addressed. Kit Middow brought his personal training experience all throughout camp while leading us through warm-ups and getting us all stretched out properly with a self-titled self-greatest stretch. We all learned it, and when he announced it, we all assumed the position. If your hip flexors, core, shoulders need a good stretch, hit up Kit Middow and he'll gladly introduce you to the world's greatest stretch. Kit Middow's ability to keep the team healthy and ready to perform each day speaks to his passion for leadership. Please join me in congratulating and welcoming Recruit Kit Middow to the fire service. Recruit Inco. Recruit Inco stood out to us from day one. The cadre had a good feeling about him, and he didn't disappoint. He was all smiles from the get-go and proved to be an excellent team player. Recruit Inco embodied the value of excellence. Recruit Inco had a habit throughout camp of finding the hardest job to perform, trying to be the first person to it, and working through it until he was exhausted. We had a hard time finding the off switch for his motor. This was witnessed on multiple occasions as he was found in different doorways just feeding hose to the attack team and making work easier for the team to accomplish their objectives. Recruit Inco has an eagerness to learn, and in most cases, once we throttled his motor back a few clicks, he found his rhythm and performed at a high level. Recruit Inco has an infectious grin. He's eager to please and was found most days anxiously involved in a good cause, always striving to make the task or team as a whole better. His integrity to the academy process has been noted day in and day out, and throughout the last 15 weeks. He exudes excellence in all that he does. Please join me in congratulating and welcoming Recruit Inco to the fire service.
Hi, guys. Can we like redo that? Like, hi, guys. All right, yeah. That's all right, we're getting there. Hey, Recruit Hurtado. Hey, Recruit Hurtado comes to us from down in California. Him and I share a few things in common. We grew up in the same city, went to the same middle school and high school about 14 years removed, and we each had a lucky twist of fate that found us hanging out together bright and early every morning. I was probably a little luckier on my end than you were on that one. For those of you who do not know Mr. Hurtado, he's not exactly a social butterfly. He's a man of few words, but still waters run deep. Once we got him out of his shell, we immediately saw the qualities that define some of our best firefighters. He's hardworking, consistent. He's a team player. And most of all, he's solid. Recruit Hurtado might shy away from the limelight, but when he's given a task, things just seem to go well, and that was present throughout camp. This class was stronger because you were in it. Our department's better because you're here. And I'd be proud to have you on my crew. Recruit Hurtado. Recruit Scoggins. Mr. Scoggins, what a journey we have had together. I had the good fortune of meeting Recruit Scoggins about a year and a half ago in this same building. And our brief time together was, I think it was memorable for both of us. I thought that'd get a little bit more applause. Like, can you guys just humor me a little bit? Okay. But much of life is a function of timing and opportunity, and at that time was not his time. And luckily for us, Mr. Scoggins is no common man. This man knows how to grind, how to stick with something, and how to fight for it. One of the most important things about being a firefighter, in my experience, is picking yourself up, dusting yourself off, and getting back on the truck when things don't go well. It's making the changes that you need to make to be that better firefighter that we're all trying to be. It's finding the discipline to commit yourself to making those incremental improvements, one day at a time, one evolution at a time, one drill at a time. And as camp progressed, after some very minor growing pains, we noticed in Recruit Scoggins some of the qualities that define our best firefighters. He's resilient. He's respectful, conscientious. Most of all, he's ready. If I had to guess a spirit animal, I'd call him a phoenix, and I'd be dang proud to have him on my crew. Recruit Scoggins. Recruit Gomez. Hey, in the fire service, and especially out here at training, we often say that we stand on the shoulders of giants. We honor those who came before and who gave our profession, and it is a profession, the good name that it has. Usually those giants don't come through recruit school, though. For those who don't know, Mr. Gomez retired 14 years ago as a captain, and over a decade later, our prodigal son has returned. He's old enough to be my dad, so it's kind of weird to say that, but I had to take my shot, right? But recruit school is difficult by design. It has to be that way. And it doesn't matter if you're 24 or if you're 54. The standard is the standard is the standard. And from day one, Recruit Gomez not only met the standard, he often exceeded it, and he made his presence felt. Whether it was being the first person here day after day after day, he actually was. I kept trying to beat you, and the third day of waking up at 3:50, I had to tell you to settle down. Just let me have this one, okay? But
Yeah, he's the first person here day after day. Or whether it was headbanging to Iron Maiden during PT out on the drill ground. Thank goodness for this amazing hairline and headbanging, right? We have that in common. He not only kept up with recruits half his age, but often drove the pace of our workouts and evolutions. But more than that, Recruit Gomez could accurately be described as one of the biggest leaders in this class. Whether it was during a hard workout in the gym or after a long day on the drill ground, he brought levity, maturity, and perspective to a lot of our younger recruits. In fact, on one of our longer runs, at the end of Firefighter Survival Week, it's one of our hardest weeks here in the academy, I pulled up next to him and I gave him the stare, just long enough to make it uncomfortable. And I asked him how he was doing, and said, "Sir, I am tired, sore, and I'm happy to be here." He's aged like a fine wine and brings back to our department some of the qualities that define our best: positivity, a no-quit attitude, perspective, leadership, and a steady disposition that brings up everybody around him. He emulates the character and fortitude that is representative of the best of us. And I would be proud to have him on my crew. Recruit Gomez.
Well, good morning. I'm as nervous much as they are on day one, so I was told to keep it short, but last time I was asked to speak, I was told I wasn't eloquent. So I was a little mad, and I had to pull out my phone and look up what eloquent was, so just gonna kind of go with it. But before I call anybody up, I want to say thanks to the cadre. This is my first class instructing, and it was awesome. And your guys' leadership, work, everything, it's awesome, and I'm grateful that I have these folks to hold me accountable now. And to you guys, the rest of you, thank you. I got 17 brothers and one tough little sister to hold me accountable too, so thank you. Okay, let's get started. Recruit Terry. Recruit Terry, super hard worker. I think he would work undoubtedly harder than most people. And you'd always find him out on the drill ground working, and maybe a little cuss word here and there, but he had some fire in him, he had some dog in him. So he'd had struggles, but he never made the same mistake more than once, and he would come back, and he sacrificed a lot. We found out about week or middle of camp that he was studying away from his family, and that showed. He undoubtedly scored higher than everybody week after week on his tests, and did awesome. Yeah, rub it in. And he also sacrificed, having a kid. His wife gave birth to a little girl, and he took the day off, and he was right back at it. You would have had no idea. So I don't know who's more of a champ, you or your wife. She had a kid in like 3 hours and was back home and probably made you lunch. So I look forward to meeting her. And lastly, Recruit Terry. We talked a lot about the why. Recruit Terry shared his why with us, and it had a profound, meaning to me as well as him, and I'm grateful he shared it. But he's here because the fire department showed up on his worst day when his dad died. Not that they saved him, but they were just there. So it kind of echoed, how many calls I've been on, and you think that you're not a firefighter, you're not saving lives, but honor that duty, and thank you for sharing that with me, and always remember that why, Terry, and you're going to do great. Thank you. Recruit Swillinger, Sam Swillinger. Recruit Swillinger also came very fit. He showed up, and we'd have a good workout and think we were breaking him, and he would be like, "Oh, yeah, wish we lifted some weights," but, he was kind of hard. And then also, he did very well in the classroom. he had a healthy competition with some of his recruits, and he was he did very well in the classroom, bringing top test scores. But if there's a word I could explain Swillinger with, it's curious. And the gears are always running in his head, and you're looking, what he was analyzing. If it didn't add up, he kind of turned his head and squint, and that curiosity was good. He's very good with people, super genuine, and that's going to carry on to his career. And that curiosity also spurred him to ask about week 5 who Chris Bluth was and if he was going to meet him. So we talk a lot about the legends of the fire department and people that have set the standard, and he asked if he would ever meet him. And so that was a cool moment. We shared that with the instructors, and I tried to get Bluth to come down, but didn't work out. He works at 13A, and he's every bit an awesome. Just go meet him. So he's going to expect you to work, though. So, and one last story, too. When we do these challenges with the recruits, a lot of times we won't step up and do some of them just because we know we're probably going to get beat. So on the Relief Association day, there was a bunch of Shastas that were there, and I'm like, oh yeah, somebody needs to chug these. And Justin Lamar's is like, all right, Ashman, you go do it with him. And sure enough, Swillinger's kind of nonchalantly comes out. He's like, I'll do it, yeah. Goes down, bites a hole in the can, and I sat there and I was like, all right, I'm going to get my butt whooped. So, yeah, that was a good moment. So, thank you for all your hard work, Swillinger. You did a great job, and keep it up. Thank you. Okay, lastly, recruit Bandman. Bandman's came with that smile since day one, orientation. It was pretty infectious. Super kind and lighthearted with everything. And the harder the workout, or the harder we say it's going to suck, he would just sit there and smile and just crush it. So his aptitude for this job, his dad's a part of the fire department, but he had no formal training. But every skill that we taught him, he grasped and he could just take off. So there was little one-time instruction with him. And like I said, you can never break him. So keep up that attitude, keep up that work ethic, and always smile. People appreciate it. And thank you again for all your hard work. You brought it, dude. And it sounds like about week 6, you start being more of a team player with everybody, and that was known from your recruits. So keep that up. Keep being a team player, and keep being you, because you're doing awesome, man. The potential's yours. So thank you.
So in each graduation, the class picks a speaker. So for today, we have Recruit Jib. Come on up.
Good morning. Family and friends, chiefs, training cadre, and firefighters, thank you for joining Class 53 on this day of reflection and celebration. In January, the fire chiefs of Salt Lake City, South Davis, and Sandy pointed to the screen above us, showed the journey of Class 52, and said, if you have what it takes, this will be you. Some 4 months later, the transformation from recruit to probationary firefighter has been remarkable. Throughout this process, we heard these words of encouragement. If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. Looking out at my fellow recruits today, I can see 18 people who are forever changed. Before we stood silently together one cold February morning, each Class 53 recruit lived a separate life. As Chief Lee pointed out, we had ski patrollers, office workers, retired Salt Lake City fire captains, personal trainers, sailors. Each of us walked a different path. Yet on that morning, and all the mornings ahead, we stood together on the same line, wore the same uniform, and confronted the same challenges together. Our days began around 1 o'clock in the morning, which is when we woke up in a panic to make sure that all 6 of our alarms were still on. After that, an average day brought physical training, classroom instruction, skills practice, and fireground evolutions. The goal of this fire academy was to build competent, entry-level firefighters. This was accomplished through work on the drill ground, long hours studying, and positive reinforcement in the form of physical exercise. Contrary to what your recruit might have said at home at the end of each day, Fire Academy was not all fun and games. From an outside perspective, Recruit Academy may appear as an ordeal. Indeed, the first few weeks tested our limits as individuals. Several weeks in, Class 53 learned the foundations of firefighter survival and took an unforgettable trip to my hometown of Pittsburgh. After these formative experiences, Recruit Academy became an adventure. Just as iron sharpens iron, the difficulties we faced made us tougher. As individuals, we were not extraordinary, yet our bond as a team was unbreakable. Just as the tasks were not becoming easier, instead, we were growing stronger. The goal of the academy was unchanged, and our motivation multiplied every day. Looking back, the steps to reach graduation seem straightforward. This could not be farther from the truth. Each recruit, in their own way, faced thoughts of doubts, nights of anxiety, and moments of hesitation. Amidst these uncertainties, the training cadre saw us not for who we were, but for who we could be. Each instilled the desire to serve, the courage to act, the ability to perform, and the will to succeed. Class 53 would not be here today without the dedication of our instructors and the guidance of our training division leaders. Our cadre don't just serve the community, they built a new generation of community servants. Everyone sitting here today, family, friends, firefighters, loved ones, made Class 53 successes possible. As you've heard several times today, each recruit entered camp with a why. Why wake up in the morning when half the city sleeps? Why push yourself through Fire Academy and a career as a firefighter when there are easier jobs available? Why do this today and for the next 25 years? Each recruit considered these questions, and here's some of our whys. To do something that was bigger than ourselves. To make our kids proud and to make our spouses proud. For the newborn child and the one that we have on the way. Love for family and the people and the crew. Our whys were so that others may live. To build a life with people that we love. To be like the firefighters who helped us when we were young and afraid. And to honor those who came before and continue a legacy. Everyone sitting here today, family, friends, firefighters, loved ones, made our achievements possible. Each of you is our why. Class 53, it was a privilege. Thank you.
Strong work, Recruit G. Next up, we're going to discuss our Outstanding Recruit Award. This is an award that is determined by recruit success in this recruit class. Many different aspects are taken into account, but a few of them are physical fitness, drill ground abilities, attitude, written test scores, leadership quality, and teamwork. Each week, each recruit sits down with a cadre member to discuss the performance of that week. There are 3 grade levels that they can get, a U, an E, and an S. A U is an unacceptable, an S is satisfactory, and an E is excellent. 3 U's is grounds for termination, as you guys have heard me say many times before. Most recruits achieve S's. An E is only given when they perform above and beyond. To give an example, on a written test, they need to achieve a 97% or higher. And most of our written tests are over 200 questions. Requires over 30 hours of studying. So to achieve a 97 on a test is no easy feat. This class was able to get some E's. In fact, there's no doubt this entire class worked their tails off. But in every class, there's a recruit that stands out for performance, teamwork, skills, or any of the previously mentioned categories. And while this class had quite a few performers, recruit Kaleo Bandman tipped the scale to achieve the Outstanding Recruit Award. Recruit bandmen started academy on the right foot and arrived physically and mentally prepared. Bandmen excelled at fitness, weightlifting, test scores, teamwork, attitude. All of those transferred to the drill ground. One test on the drill ground is called the single person evolution. It is a test where a recruit is tasked with performing 6 high-intensity tasks within a fire evolution. The average time it took to complete this was about 30 minutes. This test is a great marker for the cadre to see how well a recruit fully understands the task on the fire ground and how quickly they can complete them. Bandman stood out on this test as he was minutes ahead of the next recruit. As well, Bandman received an E for a written test and an E for attitude. Recruit Bandman also stood out for his positivity during difficult times. So with that, congratulations, Recruit Bandman. You are an outstanding recruit. Come on up. Sweet. So with that, I'd like to say a few words here. Every morning in this academy, the recruits stand out in formation for roll call. Immediately after, we move to the gym where we have a large whiteboard. And on that whiteboard is where the cadre writes the quote for that day. That quote will set the tone and give us a moment to understand the value of what we were doing that day. So I will start as follows. May 24th, 2024. There is no substitute for work. Vince Lombardi. I'll come back to that quote. If you're standing in this room, you know there are many of us that are proud to be firefighters. Firefighting has evolved over 1,000 years, and it continues to evolve today. With all this change, it begs the question, what is it really to be a firefighter? And the answer to that is it's a responsibility. It's a responsibility to serve those around us to the best of our abilities. For those of you that don't know, firefighters don't just fight fire anymore. We respond to most any type of call you can think of. Some might be medically sick, hurt, or dying. Someone might be caught in a river. Someone might have punctured a container to a hazardous material. Someone may need resources to stop living on the street. Someone may be trapped in an underground vault. Some may have broken a fire sprinkler and it's flooding a building. And those are just some of the calls that make sense. You wouldn't believe the unduplicatable situations we respond to, and as a friend of mine, Captain Archuleta, says, you can't make this stuff up. But whatever the call may be, we show up to help, we show up to make it better, and we show up to find solutions. Throughout all of these emergencies we respond, we are ready to fight fire at any moment. We have fire engines that are equipped with all the necessary supplies. We keep a minimum of 4 people on our apparatus to increase our efficiency. We train throughout each shift, sharpening our skills and honing our craft. And while putting out a house fire is basic in concept, there are many moving parts required to put them out. One crew has to arrive first and start what we call fire attack with the limited water they keep on our fire engines. Another crew has to find a hydrant and bring water to that fire attack engine. Another crew will need to be dedicated to searching for people still in that building. Another crew will need to help these crews get access into that house or property and remove the heat and smoke to improve the air inside. A separate crew will need to bring a hose line to protect the initial attack crew, and another crew will stand by with a huge cache of tools in case any of the firefighters get hurt, lost, or trapped on scene. To teach our newly hired recruits all of these different roles on a fire, we have a recruit school. This recruit school is the Salt Lake Fire Academy, and it is 15 weeks long. It is known to be one of the most difficult schools around. It's physically difficult because our job is physically difficult. It's mentally demanding because our job is mentally demanding. And it is stressful because our firefighters need to be stressed on these calls. For most recruits, this is the hardest thing they've done in their lives. But we train like this because we signed up to protect the citizens and visitors of our cities. Our priorities are life safety, incident stabilization, and property conservation, and we are sworn to serve them. They are the whole reason we exist. So, Class 53, Vince Lombardi said there's no substitute for work. The Salt Lake Fire Academy cadre says you did the work. Your departments say you did the work. Class 53, did you do the work? Yes, sir! Good. Now keep grinding, perfect these basics, seek new information, and become a specialist in something. Be inspiring to those around you, and do what you all did this class. You never quit. You're about to embark on the most rewarding career on this planet. Earn it every day. Go get them, Class 53.
Stay here. You get to introduce him. All right. With that segue, for what we are here for, the swearing in. So there's a lot of moving parts, so I will just kind of give you an idea of how this is going to work. We're going to start with Sandy, then we will go with South Davis Metro. That is what mine says. Is that what yours says? Okay, mine says Sandy, then South Davis, then Salt Lake City. So we're going to go with the program as it's written here. Is that what yours says? Yeah. Okay, all right. Mine apparently is version 1.0. All right, so we'll do the swearing in. How this will work is we'll have Sandy, their firefighters will come up, Chief will come up, Chief will have his back to the audience, the recruits will be facing the audience, and they will swear them in. Immediately after that, the recruits will take their seat, and then we'll call them up from their department one by one to do their badge pinning. While we're doing the badge pinning, family, friends, feel free to come up and get a good angle to take their picture, okay? And whoever is doing the badge pinning, feel free to come up as well when they're called to come forward. And we'll move from department to department to department. Good? Okay. All right. Let's start with Sandy. Chief McConaughey.
Please repeat after me. I state your name. I, Cameron Fields. Do solemnly swear. Do solemnly swear. That I will support. That I will support. Obey and defend. Obey and defend. The Constitution of the United States. The Constitution of the United States. The Constitution of the State of Utah. The Constitution of the State of Utah. The laws and ordinances of Sandy City. The laws and ordinances of Sandy City. And I will discharge the duties of my office. And I will discharge the duties of my office. As Sandy City Firefighter EMT. As Sandy City Firefighter EMT. With fidelity. With fidelity.
Recruit Ahern. Recruit Fields.
All right. South Davis Metro, Chief Stone.
I, Commander,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will serve the citizens
that I will serve the citizens
and firefighters of South Davis Metro Fire
and firefighters of South Davis Metro Fire
with honor and integrity.
with honor and integrity.
I will uphold the policies and procedures
I will uphold the policies and procedures
of the department,
of the department,
and I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of firefighter
the duties of firefighter
to the best of my judgment and ability.
to the best of my judgment and ability.
Recruit Fairholm, come on up. Recruit Bergson. Recruit Jim. Recruit Brewer.
All right, Salt Lake City, Chief Lee.
All right, you ready? Sure. Okay. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Jason Berry,
Do solemnly swear and affirm.
do solemnly swear and affirm
Faithfully and honestly.
faithfully and honestly
Perform all of my duties.
perform all of my duties
As a Salt Lake City Fire Department.
as a Salt Lake City Fire Department firefighter,
To uphold and follow.
to uphold and follow
High standards and values.
high standards and values
of Salt Lake City Fire Department.
of Salt Lake City Fire Department,
Protect the lives and property.
and protect the lives and property
of the public I am sworn to serve.
of the public I am sworn to serve.
Congratulations, Dr.
Recruit Hurtado. Recruit Bandman. Recruit Swillinger. Recruit Gomez. Recruit Robinson. Recruit Scoggins. Recruit Flurry. Recruit Inco. Recruit Terry. Recruit Harris.
Recruit Bailey. Recruit Kibito.
All right, congratulations. You might have noticed throughout this ceremony, we've referred to all of the recruits as recruits. They're not firefighters till that badge is pinned. Congratulations, firefighters. All right, who are we?
Class 53, sir!
Who are we?
Class 53, sir!
That's what I like. That's the way it's done. All right, to give everyone a little idea of what they've been through for the last 15 weeks, we have a 7-minute video capturing just a little bit of that. So we'll have that video real quick.
like women, they stay in the venom, but I got the power, I ain't afraid. I ain't afraid, I'm in your face. It's tomorrow, man, I'm here today. What's it up for doing, I'm super for play. Remember my name when I'm in the grave. Yeah, pretend, damn, Hall of Fame, yeah. It's bad dreams, I ain't playing weak, no, I'm playing for keeps. They stop me, I'm a legend. I'm already cool, it's making the moves, get out of the way. We can move, we got this, never stop, man. And we won't move, no, we can't move.
Congratulations. Thank you. That concludes our badge pinning ceremony for today. We do have some light refreshments over here. Feel free to grab a drink and a light refreshment. It is encouraged to have your new firefighters show you around the drill ground and have them tell some of the stories that from what they've experienced over the last 15 weeks. And lastly, before we do go, we like to get a class picture. And a picture of our outstanding recruit. So we are going to ask that all the new firefighters line up here in front of this engine, and we'll get some pictures. Feel free to kind of, stand back and get some pictures of them as well. And we'll get a picture of apprentice bandman as well. And then they'll be free to go and do everything else. So that's all I'll go. Thank you.